Hello, my friends. Today I want to tell you a very interesting story. It is the story of sunglasses. You probably wear sunglasses or see them every day. They sit on people's faces, they look cool and simple, but the story behind them is long, exciting, and full of surprises. This story goes back 2,000 years. It starts in one of the coldest places on Earth. The Inuit people live in the Arctic. The Arctic is a place of snow and ice. It is very cold there, sometimes minus 40 degrees. The sun shines on the snow and ice every day. This makes a very strong, bright light. This light hurts the eyes a lot. It can even damage them. The Inuit people knew this. They were smart people. They needed to protect their eyes. So, around 2,000 years ago, they made something special. They made the world's very first sunglasses. But these sunglasses did not look like yours. They did not have plastic or glass. They did not come in a little case. The Inuit people made their eye protectors from bone and ivory. Ivory comes from the tusks of walruses. These animals live in the Arctic too. The Inuit cut the bone and ivory into flat pieces. Then they made very thin, narrow slits in them. A slit is a tiny opening, like a line. These slits were only 1 to 3 millimeters wide. The person put the piece over their eyes. They could look through the small slits. This blocked most of the bright light, but they could still see clearly. It was a brilliant idea. Archaeologists found these old eye protectors. Some are more than 2,000 years old. Scientists studied them carefully. They found that the narrow slits reduced the light by up to 70%. This is very impressive. Modern sunglasses today block about 95 to 90% of light, so the Inuit solution was very close to perfect. They did not have machines or factories. They only had bone, ivory, and clever minds. The Inuit people also used a second material. They sometimes used dried seaweed. Seaweed is a dark plant from the sea. Its dark color helped block the light too. They tied the eye protectors to their heads with thin strings made from animal skin. They were simple, but they worked very well. These first sunglasses saved many Inuit people from snow blindness. Snow blindness is a painful condition. It happens when too much bright light hits the eyes. The eyes become red, sore, and swollen. They hurt a lot. Sometimes the person cannot see for 1 to 2 days. The Inuit people understood this danger. Their bone and ivory eye protectors protected them every single day.
The Inuit were not the only early people to think about eye protection. In other parts of the world, other people were also looking for solutions. The story of sunglasses also takes us to 2 great ancient civilizations, China and Rome. Let us start with China. In ancient China, around the year 1000 AD, judges in courts used a special kind of stone. This stone was flat and dark. It was made of smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is a natural stone. It has a gray or brown color. It looks a little like dark glass. Chinese judges held these flat pieces of smoky quartz in front of their eyes. Why? Not to protect from the sun. They had a different reason. When a person spoke in front of the judge listened carefully. But the judge did not want the person to see his eyes. A judge must listen without showing his feelings. If the judge showed surprise or sadness or anger, people could see his reaction. The smoky quartz hid the judge's eyes. It was a kind of early privacy screen. This is very different from why the Inuit used eye protectors, but it shows us that humans were thinking about covering their eyes for many different reasons. Historians found records of these stone glasses in Chinese writings from around 1,000 years ago. The exact year is around 1000 AD, during the Song dynasty. This tells us that eye coverings were important in many cultures around the world, not only in cold Arctic places. Now let us go to ancient Rome, about 2,000 years ago. The Roman Emperor Nero was a famous and powerful man. He ruled Rome from 54 AD to 68 AD. Nero liked to watch gladiator fights. These were violent sports with men fighting each other in large arenas. Thousands of people watched these fights. The arena was outside, in the open sun. The light was very strong in Rome. Nero used something special. He held up a flat piece of emerald stone to his eyes. Emerald is a green gem. It is usually very expensive and beautiful, but Nero did not use it for its beauty alone. The green stone helped reduce the brightness of the sunlight. It made watching the gladiator fights more comfortable for his eyes. Historians are not completely sure if this was the original purpose. Some think Nero used the emerald because it was a luxury item, a sign of wealth and power. Others think the emerald truly helped his eyes. Nero may also have had poor eyesight. Using a curved piece of emerald could have helped him see better too. Either way, this was one of the very first examples of a powerful person using a lens or a colored stone to help their vision. These two ancient examples, Chinese smoky quartz and Roman emerald, show us something important. Humans have always wanted to control light. They wanted to protect their eyes, hide their faces, or see more clearly. This desire, this need, is the beginning of the long journey to the modern sunglasses we know and love today.
For many centuries after ancient China and Rome, sunglasses did not change very much. People made small, round glass lenses and put them in frames. In the 1700s and 1800s, some doctors in Europe gave their patients tinted glasses. These were glasses with colored lenses, usually green or gray or amber. Doctors gave them to people who had eye conditions. The colored lenses helped reduce pain from bright light. But these glasses were only for sick people. Normal, healthy people did not wear them every day. They were not fashion items. They were not popular. Most people in the 1800s never owned a pair of tinted glasses. Only rich or sick people did. Then, everything changed in 1929. This is a very important year in the history of sunglasses. A man named Sam Foster changed the world. Sam Foster was an American businessman. He was smart and he understood the market. In 1929, he began to sell sunglasses on the beaches of Atlantic City, New Jersey, in the United States. Atlantic City was a very popular beach resort. Thousands of people went there in the summer. The sun was hot and bright. People sat on the sand and swam in the sea. It was the perfect place to sell eye protection. Foster sold his sunglasses cheaply. Most people could afford them. He sold them from a small stand on the beach. People walked by, saw the glasses, and tried them on. They liked them. The sunglasses felt good. They blocked the sun. They were comfortable, and they looked nice too. By 1930, sunglasses became very popular in the United States. Millions of people wanted them. Foster's company became very successful. The name of his company was Foster Grant. You can still buy Foster Grant sunglasses today in shops around the world. His brand survived for almost 100 years. In just a few years, sunglasses went from a medical item to a common product. By 1932, about 100 million pairs of sunglasses were sold per year in the USA alone. This is an incredible number. In 1935, the U.S. government reported that sunglasses had become one of the most popular fashion accessories in the country. But most of those early sunglasses were not very good for the eyes. They were dark, yes, but they did not protect against harmful ultraviolet or UV rays from the sun. UV rays are invisible. They can damage your eyes slowly over many years. Scientists did not fully understand UV radiation and its effects on eyes until the 1950s and 1960s. This is an important fact. Sam Foster made sunglasses popular. He made them cheap and available to everyone. But the next big step was making them truly safe and protective. That step would come later, with the help of science and the military. After 1930, something very interesting happened. Sunglasses became part of culture. They became a symbol. Wearing sunglasses said something about you. It said you were stylish, modern, and a little mysterious. And who made sunglasses cool? Hollywood.
In the 1930s and 1940s, Hollywood was the most glamorous place in the world. Famous movie stars like Greta Garbo, Cary Grant, and Audrey Hepburn wore sunglasses. They wore them on the street, at the beach, and at parties. Photographers took their pictures. Millions of people saw these photos in magazines and newspapers. People wanted to look like their favorite stars, so they bought sunglasses too. Greta Garbo was especially famous for wearing large, dark sunglasses. She wore them to hide from fans and photographers. She was very private, but her sunglasses became iconic. An iconic thing is something very famous and recognizable. People around the world copied her style. Large, dark sunglasses became the most fashionable type to wear. At the same time, something very different was happening far from Hollywood. In the 1930s and 1940s, the world was in a terrible war. World War II lasted from 1939 to 1945. Millions of soldiers fought in deserts, oceans, and mountains all around the world. Bright sunlight was a serious problem for pilots and soldiers. The U.S. Army asked scientists to create better sunglasses for their pilots. Flying a plane at high altitude means the UV light is much stronger. At 30,000 feet, UV radiation is about 25% stronger than on the ground. This was dangerous for pilots' eyes. They needed real protection. In 1936, a company called Bausch & Lomb created a special kind of lens. These lenses were green. They blocked harmful UV rays. They also blocked infrared rays, another type of invisible light. The U.S. Army loved these lenses. They put them in aviator-style frames. An aviator frame is large and teardrop-shaped. It was perfect for pilots wearing helmets. These sunglasses were called Ray-Ban aviators. Ray-Ban is the brand name. The word ray means a beam of light. The word ban means to stop or block. So, Ray-Ban means blocking light rays. This was a perfect name. Ray-Ban aviators became one of the most famous sunglasses in history. After World War II ended in 1945, soldiers came home. Many of them kept their Ray-Ban aviators. Ordinary people saw them and loved the style. Soon, civilians, regular people, not soldiers, were buying Ray-Ban sunglasses too. By 1950, Ray-Ban was one of the most popular sunglasses brands in the world. Today, Ray-Ban still sells millions of pairs every year. In the 1950s and 1960s, more movie stars wore sunglasses in films. James Dean wore cool, dark glasses. Audrey Hepburn wore big, glamorous ones in the famous film Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961. Elvis Presley, the famous singer, wore large gold sunglasses on stage. These stars made sunglasses more than just eye protection. They made them a symbol of personality, attitude, and freedom. By the 1970s and 1980s, scientists understood UV radiation much better. They discovered that UV rays from the sun could cause serious damage to the human eye over time. Too much UV exposure can cause cataracts. A cataract is when the lens inside your eye becomes cloudy. It can make you lose your sight. UV rays can also increase the risk of macular degeneration. This is when the center of your vision slowly disappears. These are serious conditions. They affect millions of people worldwide. Scientists found that wearing good quality sunglasses with UV protection could greatly reduce the risk of these problems. So, sunglasses were no longer just fashion, they were a real health tool. In the 1980s, organizations around the world began to create rules and standards for sunglasses. In the USA, the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, set requirements. All sunglasses sold in the USA must block at least 99% of UVA and UVB rays. UVA and UVB are two types of ultraviolet light. UVA rays go deep into the eye. UVB rays damage the surface of the eye. Today, good sunglasses must pass strict tests. They must be tested for how much UV they block. They must also be tested for how strong the lenses are. If a lens breaks easily, the pieces can hurt your eye. Many countries have their own safety standards. In Europe, sunglasses must pass CE certification tests. In Australia, the standard is very strict because Australia has very strong sunlight. The sunglass industry today is enormous. In 2023, the global sunglasses market was worth approximately $22 billion. That is a very large number. By 2030, experts expect the market to grow to over $30 billion. People all over the world buy sunglasses. In the USA alone, about 164 million pairs of sunglasses are sold every year. The most popular sunglass brands in the world today are Ray-Ban, Oakley, Gucci, Prada, and Maui Jim. Some luxury sunglasses cost more than $500. Some basic pairs cost only $5 or $10. Most eye doctors recommend spending at least $15 to $20 on sunglasses to make sure they have real UV protection. Modern lenses are made from many different materials. Polycarbonate is a very popular material. It is lightweight and very hard to break. Glass lenses are heavier but give very clear vision. Polarized lenses are special lenses that block glare. Glare is the extra bright light that bounces off water, snow, or car windows. Polarized sunglasses are very helpful for drivers, fishermen, and skiers. There are also photochromic lenses. These are lenses that change color automatically. In bright sunlight, they become dark. Indoors or in low light, they become clear. This is very clever technology. These lenses were first developed in the 1960s and are now used by millions of people worldwide. And now, there is something even more exciting: smart sunglasses. These are sunglasses with tiny computers inside them. They can play music, they can take photos, they can show information in front of your eyes. Companies like Meta and Ray-Ban work together to make smart sunglasses. In 2023, Meta and Ray-Ban released new smart glasses that can take photos, record video, and play music. The price was around $299. From bone and ivory 2,000 years ago to smart technology today, the journey of sunglasses is truly amazing.
So, my friends, we have come a long way together. We started in the cold, white Arctic with the clever Inuit people. They had no machines or shops. They had only their hands, their minds, and the materials around them. Bone and ivory. Thin slits to block the deadly snow glare. A simple but brilliant invention that saved their eyes and helped them survive in one of the harshest places on Earth. We visited ancient China, where serious judges hid their eyes behind dark, smoky quartz stones. We went to ancient Rome, where Emperor Nero held green emerald gems to his eyes in the hot sunshine of the arena. We traveled to the beaches of Atlantic City in 1929, where Sam Foster sold cheap sunglasses to ordinary beach lovers and changed the world forever. We watched Hollywood stars make sunglasses glamorous and beautiful. We saw soldiers in World War II fly through dangerous skies with green lenses protecting their tired eyes. We watched science explain why sunglasses are not just cool, they are necessary for our health. And today, right now, in 2024, sunglasses are everywhere. People in every country wear them. Rich people and poor people, young people and old people, athletes and artists. Sunglasses are one of the most common objects in the world. About 3 billion pairs of sunglasses are estimated to be in use around the world right now. But here is the most beautiful thing about this story. It is a story about a problem. The problem of light. Too much light, dangerous light, painful light. Humans have always tried to solve this problem. The Inuit used what they had around them, bone and ivory. Chinese judges used smooth stone. Roman emperors used precious gems. Modern factories use science and technology. Every generation found a new answer. Every culture found its own solution.
but they were all answering the same question. How do we protect our eyes from the sun? This is what makes humans special. We look at the world around us, we see a problem, and we try to fix it. Sometimes the solution is very simple, like a thin slit in a piece of bone. Sometimes it is very complex, like a tiny computer inside a stylish frame. But the desire to solve the problem, that desire is always the same. The next time you pick up your sunglasses and put them on your face, take one small moment. Think about the Inuit person 2,000 years ago. They sat in the snow and ice. The sun was blindingly bright. Their eyes hurt. They picked up a piece of walrus bone. They cut a thin line in it. They held it up to their face. They could see again. They were safe. You and that Inuit person are connected by a very long thread of human history. A thread made of bone, ivory, smoky stone, green emerald, cheap plastic, scientific glass, and now clever computers. It is a thread 2,000 years long. And it is still growing. Thank you for reading, my friends. Take care of your eyes. Wear your sunglasses, and always remember, every great invention started with a simple human need.